Now, y'all know I hate banks. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Ernest, and I hate banks. If you're just like me, or if you just hate your bank, there is a bank that I believe that you will grow to trust and possibly grow to love. And that's Ally Bank. With Ally Bank, it's a lot more secure than keeping your money in the shoebox for all our, you know, financial needs. I mean, trust me, it's a lot more secure than that. Ally Bank offers high yielding savings accounts that actually help you save money. You know, unlike these other banks over here, Ally Bank is actually helping you save money with your savings account. So it makes sense to open up a savings account with Ally Bank. There's no minimum deposit, not within your savings or your spending account to get started with Ally Bank. There's no minimum deposits, there's no monthly fees, and there's no overdraft fees. I know that's a lot. That's a big issue for a lot of people. That's a big deal. So join Ally Bank, you know, with 24/7 customer service, which is great. They have one of the best, or I will say the best customer service I've ever dealt with within any banking in all my banking life. Like, and I'm not over exaggerating. I really do appreciate their customer service. They truly do care and they live up to their name. They're an ally for sure. Some of my favorite things about banking with Ally is pretty much being able to make crypto payments as well. And as I mentioned before, the 24-hour customer service. You know, you might be in the middle of the night and you're thinking, oh man, whatever issues you have going on, you call somebody, somebody's going to answer that line. It could be at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 7 a.m. as I'm recording this ad for y'all right now. You know, you can pick up the line, call somebody, and you can get the assistance you need right now. This is a limited time offer though. So right now, if you hit the link in the description box below, you can win up to $125 for qualifying signees. If you are a qualifying signee, you can get up to $125 for becoming a member of Ally Bank. Now, I don't know about you, but I could use an extra $125. Definitely. You know, that's a great way to fund your bank, to start your funding with Ally Bank. It's a great way to start your savings, saving for the future, start your investments with that money as well, or simply just buy whatever you want or support yours truly with that. Whatever you decide to do with your extra $125, it's all up to you. You know, hit the link in the description box below. Offer ends though March 1st, 2024. So you want to move quickly right now as you can. You want to move as fast as you can to sign up for Ally Bank, a bank you can trust, a bank that I don't hate. And that's saying a lot because I hate banks, but I don't hate Ally Bank. So if this sounds good to you, hit the link once again in the description box below. Sign up for Ally Bank. And yeah, happy banking. All right. So stemming from that last topic, let me turn the brightness all the way up. Ooh ah. Anyway, stemming from that last topic, and let me take a sip of water. Stemming from that last topic once again, I just wanted to give my thoughts on or just share my thoughts really. I think I've said this before, but I don't think I've gone in depth. And if I have gone in depth, then let me just say it again because it's important. But stemming from the last topic about, you know, natural hair and everything, I wanted to give my thoughts on uh, just how I handle now, how I think and how I handle emotionally and mentally the disrespect of black features, or when I was growing up they called it African features. Some people still call it African features. I use the term black features because, you know, black folks who aren't African tend to have these features as well. But you know, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to describe or just tell you how I handled the teasing or the disrespect of all of that. But before I get into it, I'm going to go back in the day. So you see this nose for those who are watching on the video, you know what I'm saying? I've always had this nose. I've always had a grown man nose. Let me put it out. No, I've always had a big nose. Um, it's one of my genetic features. Um, as a kid, I got teased a lot for my nose. I got teased a lot for my hair as well. My nose, my hair. I got teased a lot for those things. Um, that caused a lot of insecurity. Both my hair and my nose caused a lot of insecurity as a kid. People would talk about my lips as well, but I got more compliments about my lips than I did my nose. They were big and they were pink, but people would compliment how pink they were. Primarily girls. So, that was some of the first like compliments I've ever gotten. I don't know how they know what they were thinking, but nonetheless, those comments about my nose and my hair did hurt me a lot. I never really got comments on my skin tone ever. I didn't start getting comments on my height, until probably high school. And more so, I saw that stuff online, and that was the stuff that was still affecting me, but it didn't affect me as much as the stuff I was hearing about myself from peers and just others in general, about my physical features, my nose and my hair. And like I said, it caused a lot of insecurity. I remember at a very young age, I told myself once I hit 18, I was actually going to get rhinoplasty. You know, um, everybody knows Michael Jackson, right? So I know Michael Jackson. I grew up listening to Mike. I grew up watching Mike. I knew that he had surgery on his nose. I also knew when he was literally my age as well, he would get picked on by family members, by peers, by everybody about his nose, right? And his hair and how dark his skin was. Now, that was the only thing I didn't get picked on about was my skin. Um, you know, um, but the nose and the hair, the soft voice, these are things that I can relate to as far as by struggle with Michael. Well, not struggle with Michael, shared struggle with Michael Jackson as a youth. Um, so when I saw that he obviously changed his looks, yeah, I didn't look at him honestly and say that's a handsome fella right there, because I would look at young Mike and say, I wish he didn't do this. I didn't wish he didn't do that. Obviously, I got older, I understood what was going on with all of that. So I became more sensitive to Michael Jackson because of that. I get that. But I had to get older, and obviously, when you get older, you should get wiser. You should get more, I guess, sensitive to other people's issues. With that newfound or with that newfound wiseness, I guess you should become more sensitive to other people's issues. So that's what happened with me. But as far as I bring up MJ because again, he was a black kid with nappy hair and a big nose. You know, difference is he was famous and people loved him for it. And although he got flack from family and again peers for his looks, there was still an entire globe of people who said this is a beautiful young man and we love him. You know, I didn't have that. Obviously, what I'm saying, I didn't have that. I had a loving family who sometimes teased me about my looks, or I had a loving family that would just be like, toughen up. I was a real sensitive kid. I cried about everything. I said that on this podcast. Everything made me cry. I was a little bitch, but nah, I'm sorry. But no, I was real sensitive as a kid. Everything made me cry. Now I laugh at myself every single day, But yeah, it was a tough enough, especially when you are surrounded by men. I got all brothers. I grew up with both parents, my mom and my dad. My mom was still on that tip though, with toughen up. You know what I'm saying? She was the disciplinary, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? For those who know, you know. But she was on some toughen up type stuff. There were times where, yeah, she would, I guess, be the nurturer, and was sensitive to me being sensitive about my nose or just my hair or being teased about these things. But for the most part, it was toughen up, say something back, fight back. And I'm not mad at that, because ultimately you got to tell people, you got to toughen up. If you're gonna be hurt by words, this world is a lot more cruel than words, my guy, my girl, my person. This world is a lot more cruel. If words is gonna be the one thing that breaks you down, yikes, you got to toughen up, because there's a whole world out there full of people, hateful people. Well, I won't say full, but there's a whole world out there. And there's a lot of hateful people out there. Spiteful individuals. Mean people. You can't let them get to you with their words. So I understand that. And as I got older, that's when I guess I just started to... It's a culmination of things. It's that. It's also the fact that I've never heard a joke about my nose or my hair that I thought was either funny or that I just didn't hear before. So it just became something that I got used to hearing. Like, you hear something about yourself. Unfortunately, this works negatively as well as it does positively. But you hear you hear something so much about yourself that when you hear it, you're numb to it at a point. That was another reason. I'm not even gonna front. That was another reason. I got so much flack for my black features, to the point where I just stopped. Like, I just was like, yeah, I know. And it wasn't a yeah, I know, I'm proud of it. Not back then, at least. It was yeah, I know there's nothing I can do about it, because I don't have money for rhinoplasty. And no matter how many times I cut my hair, it's going to grow back, and it's never going to grow back straight. You know what I'm saying? No matter how, and there was a time where I tried to straighten my hair. I was hot combing and everything. My hair never straights. My hair would never be straight. You know what I'm saying? It's the gayest thing ever. But no, I'm sorry. But my hair would never be straight, and I'm 100% okay with that, And yeah, I don't want rhinoplasty. I don't want any type of surgery now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe LASIK for these bum ass eyes. But, even that is like, oh man, I've been hearing some things about it. I just want better vision. But I don't want any type of surgery now. And again, a lot of it grew with this aspect of just me coming into my own. Now, again, I bring this topic up not just because in relation to the last topic, but I see Jonathan Majors. Now, we all know what happened. I talked about it. It was crazy, because after I talked about his situation the last time I did on this podcast, a few days later, the verdict comes out, or whatever he's charged, the verdict comes out, right? The reason why I didn't feel the need to make any type of rebuttals, because even within that statement, I said I still don't believe he's going to get off. I still think he's going to be found guilty, and therefore it happened. I didn't call it into fruition. That's not something that I was wishing on a man. But I bring him up simply because he is another brother with strong black features, right? The big nose, the big lips, all that. I don't know if he grew up a skinny kid with a big head, weird face, what I'm saying? Yes, I still find that funny. But no, I don't know if he grew up a skinny kid like that. I haven't seen pictures of Kid Majors. But I've seen a lot of people who are, instead of talking about what he's accused of, they're making fun of him for his features. There's a lot of jokes, a lot of memes going around saying he looks like a slave, he looks like, old, whatever the case is. A lot of the stuff that I got as a kid. And, They say he dressed like this. He dressed now. Sometimes he be dressing like our forefathers. Let me just put it that way. You know what I'm saying? But um, you know, you could dislike somebody. You could disagree with an act that they did, and still not talk about their physical features. And like I said, I bring that up not because it's in relation to the last topic, but I feel like this is something that I see a lot of black folks do, especially online. Um, that's just not cool. Where we are publicly being disrespectful to our looks in front of white people, in front of non-white folks, and making it seem as though it's okay. But we would have outrage if one of these white commentators or non-black commentators said something about Jonathan Majors' nose or his lips. Thumbs up, as Apple is telling you to do. But we'd have a problem with that. But then we do it. Now, this is not on the same vein of if we stop saying the N word, other people are going to stop doing it. And I'm not going to be naive enough to be like, if we stop making fun of our features, then other people are going to stop doing it. But it doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it okay. And it also, other people are going to feel encouraged to chime in on that stuff. That's just my thoughts on it. But again, at this point in time, no one, and I mean absolutely no one, this is not me trying to save face or anything, but no one can make me feel bad about my, quote, black or African features. Why? Because there's a ton of women as I got older, and like I said, I used to get compliments on my big pink lips. Anyways, that's where I blew a kiss at your, yeah. Anyways, there's a, aside from the women who actually like it now, especially Beyonce, aside from that, I grew up looking at myself and saying, as I was saying about my hair would never be straight. As long as it continues to grow and it continues to be healthy, that's all I want. And that's all I can ask for, And I love my hair, Definitely got to get it retwist soon, but, I love my hair. As far as wanting a rhinoplasty or anything else of that nature, no. I don't want that now. I'm going to keep this nose. As stuffy as it is, I'm going to keep it, Because I feel like my face will look weird. This is no disrespect to Michael Jackson, but my face will look weird if this nose was a lot smaller. You know what I'm saying? Now, I could slim down in other areas, and I have lost some weight simply because I am doing a bit of a fast, a Daniel's fast and stuff. I will talk about that anyways on this podcast, by the way. Not next week, but possibly next week if the guest that I am interviewing doesn't show up. But anyways, so I could do things. There was other things that that I was doing for my looks to give myself, a more appealing look to myself. I started working out. You know what I'm saying? You see the guns, ooh. But nah, I worked out. That's what's helping out with my self-esteem and just in general, not just with my physical looks, but mentally as well. Working out, when I started working out at 18 years old, that started to do wonders, and I believe that's a big part of my mental toughness when it came to seeing people disrespect my black or African features and stuff like that. Again, I got it a lot more when I was a kid. I don't get it much now, at all. You know what I'm saying? And if people do got something to say about it, they usually keep it to themselves. Or, again, it's people who compliment it, But I'm just saying this, like, working out helps not only just with your physical body, but your mental well being as well, about your mental self esteem. And that really helped out. And as I mentioned before, listen, women love it. You know, it's not. You're probably like, oh, it's just African women who love it. Fine ass African women who love it, so be it. But it's not just African women who love it. You know, and again, your self esteem should not be based on how many people of the opposite sex find you attractive. No, but it helps. Yeah, it helps. I'm just giving you all the real. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you my experience with it. I can't talk about everybody else's. Other people, and I implore you to go. If you're on YouTube, go find other people who have dealt with the teasing and the disrespect of their black features, and see how they deal with it right now and how they dealt with it as a kid. I'm just giving you how I personally dealt with it. As a kid, I hated myself. I hated myself. I wanted, like I said, I told myself this is 8 years old, 8 years old, talking about once I found out what rhinoplasty was, or plastic surgery in general, right? I'm like, fine, then I'm just gonna get plastic surgery to correct my nose, right? I wanted it like to shave down to like a normal size, as I would put it as a kid. But I was a kid. I was stupid for making a comment like that. You know what I'm saying? When you're a kid, you make stupid comments. So that's what I did. You know, hit 18 years old. One, didn't have the money for rhinoplasty, but also didn't want to get rhinoplasty. So there's that aspect of it. And people are going to be like, well, if you had the money, would you have gotten it? Like I said, no. I started working out. I'm not saying working out instantly. The moment I stepped into a gym, I'm like, yeah, I look good. No, I started working out and I started feeling good. I guess the focus became more so about, you know, my looks other than my nose and my hair. And I was still insecure about my hair during that time and all this other stuff. But again, you know, later on, as I grew older, it was, I can design how I look. I can take control of the narrative of how I feel about myself, because that's what self-esteem is, you know? Now, I'm not telling people not to get plastic surgery. I'm not telling people, just like with the whole wigs and weaves and all that stuff, you do what you want to do. Will you, however you feel as though you want to do to express yourself, your outer appearance, do so. But just know your inner appearance, how you feel about yourself, has to come from self. Not coming from the amount of sex partners you have, whether it be the same sex or opposite sex, or whatever you're attracted to. Not the amount of compliments you get from people, or, you know, all this other stuff. Not from celebrity acknowledgement, although having Beyonce saying that your features are good enough to not have one kid, not two kids, but three kids by, is a big flex, if you ask me. You know, I ain't ooh-ah. But all of that stuff does help out. But at the end of the day, it has to come from yourself. It don't matter what Beyonce, well, it does matter what Beyonce says, but it don't matter what Beyonce says. It don't matter what, again, sexual partners or just people who want to F you say, you know? Or have sex with you say. I won't say F you, but, you know, it don't matter what they say. It don't matter what people who want to have a baby with you or just date you in general. It don't matter what they say. If you don't feel good on the inside, you don't feel good on the inside. It's just like, again, when I was a kid and people would make compliments about, yeah, you got a big nose and nappy hair, but I really like your big pink lips. What you think I was listening to? I wasn't saying, oh, they like my lips, yay. No, it was, I'm ugly. And it's because of my nose, it's because of my hair, and when I get older, I am going to do something about this nose. I didn't have a plan for my hair. My thing was, I thought if I just never got a haircut and grew it out, the longer it was, the more beautiful it was. Now, I still want long hair, but I don't have the mindset of the longer it is, the more beautiful it is, you know? I want long hair because that's just I don't plan on cutting my hair. So something's gonna have to happen to it. It's either gonna grow or not grow. And like I said, I just want the hair to be healthy and growing. So that's my thing. Um, but I'm not gonna straighten it, or at least attempt to straighten it in order for it to get to a specific length. Because like I said, my hair don't straighten. Okay, but anyways, let me get off before I start offending people. Anyways, I do have one more topic, so stay tuned.